Data centers traditionally create a lot of jobs to build and construct. However, there is a small caveat. When the data center is done, those construction employees leave the city and go on to build the next, and they don't traditionally create that many jobs. However, we found a solution at Atherra. By pairing data centers and their waste heat with hydroponic greenhouses, we're able to create hundreds and hundreds of jobs for that local area. So what do hydroponic greenhouses and data centers have in common? They both use a lot of electricity, and one produces a lot of heat and one needs a lot of heat. Imagine this big data center in a closed loop system that's using water to cool its GPUs. Well, that water, as it's cooling the GPUs, passes through and becomes hot enough to create an ideal temperature inside of a hydroponic greenhouse. We're freely transferring one form of energy to another, which supplies free heat to the entire greenhouse. This is great because it lowers operational costs and hopefully lowers the price of your grocery bill. So I'm here with my really close friend, Tony Abbas, who's quite the expert on all things hydroponic greenhouse. Tony, could you please tell us a little bit about what we're walking through and these vegetables and how they're grown?
If you look at the way we irrigate the plants, you can see that there's drippers that are going right to the actual plant. And then what happens is as this plant takes what it needs from the nutrients and water we're giving it, it only takes what it needs. What it doesn't take goes onto these gutters here. This gutter has a slight slope that goes to the back of the greenhouse, and we collect all that excess water that drains out of this bag. Essentially, we filter it, we sterilize it, and then we reuse it.
So I would say that this is quite the science that's been looked at and mastered over several decades.
Absolutely.
All right, so Tony.
Yes, sir.
This is where the pedal meets the floor.
That's right.
The boiler room, the hot water.
Yes.
This is where the hot liquid from the GPUs is gonna be transferred into the greenhouse, and this is where it's gonna be received.
So we've got some very large industrial sized boilers here. And essentially what happens is with these boilers, there's a bunch of tubes on the outside, and then inside there's a giant cavity where we just put a huge amount of flame. So as that water's flowing on the outside of it, we basically heat the water up. So all that hot water, like you said before, that we create, your data centers would actually take care of all of this. So we remove these boilers and wouldn't need them at all.
Interesting. So basically, us at Atherra and what we've designed is we found a way to replace the need to burn natural gas to heat a greenhouse, and instead we can transport already existing hot water into your boiler system.
Exactly.
Now, as this garage is going up, tell me about what type of savings that would do for a typical hydroponic greenhouse.
Millions. If I was
Millions.
You look at a greenhouse, yeah, it's 10 to 50% of the cost for actual boiler creation, heat creation, absolutely.
So by Atherra's solution, by transporting the hot liquid into an existing boiler system, we're saving the greenhouse millions annually?
Absolutely.
Not a bad deal. All right, Tony, so now we're in what we'd call the cold storage or the head house, where everything gets packaged and processed to go to the grocery stores. Could you tell me a little bit about what's going on here?
We pick the product that came from the greenhouse itself, we put in the packets, they'll make sure quality is where it needs to be.
So really, this is where our food comes from, and every time we eat a tomato, we can say thank you for all the hard work that the staff is doing. I would love to see what it kind of looks like in its full package.
Sure.
Well, maybe we'll head over there and we'll take a look at that.
But like what's actually coming out of the machine itself, you actually have the product itself.
Wow, and this is where our peppers come from. So really what we can do is we can take a data center GPU waste heat and its CO2 and grow fruits and vegetables at a much lower cost.
Absolutely.
And hopefully get this on the grocery shelf at a lower price point.
And more sustainably for the environment. It makes sense all around.
And just as delicious.
Absolutely.
Tony, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.